Namaste viewers and welcome to another episode of Amazing Vedas with Dr. Pariksith Singh. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for joining us. And as you know, viewers, we have been talking about this very special Swatantrata Parva of Bharat. It's a beautiful time of the year, especially for those of us who are associated with Sri Aurobindo, because it is his birthday. And again, those of us who are associated with Sri Aurobindo Ashram Delhi branch, it was Chachaji's birthday on the 13th. And then we had Sri Aurobindo's birthday as well as Independence Day on the 15th. And just a little while ago, it was Tara Didi's birthday as well on the 5th of July. But the reason I'm bringing up all this is we see a deep connection, Dr. Singh and I, in our many discussions together, we see a deep connection between, first of all, the Vedas, second of all, Sri Aurobindo's advent, third, the independence of India or the future of India, call it what you will. We see a deep connection between all three. And that's why we have a sense of humility and gratitude when we come to Darshan Day, when we come to India's Independence Day. In a way, our heart fills up. We are moved, and it is like a consecration. We want to offer ourselves. So, and by the way, as we have seen, we are not partisan, okay? We feel deeply about the 250th birthday of the United States as well. So please, we are not parochial, we are not chauvinistic. We belong to all of humanity. I believe Sri Aurobindo also belongs to all of humanity and to generations to come. With those words, I know, Dr. Singh, you've been very inspired and some beautiful words have come to you by way of homage, because it is the world of the Swara, the Akshara, the imperishable word, the Paravak, which moves us deeply when we are connected and aligned with the divine. So without further ado, I request you to please give us your poem. You read one of your poems before on Agni, and I think that as we saw, that poem was also about a yajna. It was also about a consecration. And I think that this poem as well, from what I gather, is also about a self-offering on this beautiful occasion. So over to you.
So I'll just read the poem rather than commenting about it. एक और प्रयास, जो भी कहना है कह लो, किंतु मौन से ही या गा दो।
वाह वाह,
आधा वर्ष ये कि तुम हो जाओ जो मैं ना रहूं, खोने को नहीं पाने हेतु। कि तुम हो जाओ जो मैं ना रहूं, खोने को नहीं पाने हेतु। कि तुम हो सको जो इतना प्रेम हो, जो आकाश ही आकाश रहे भरा तुमसे।
वाह, आकाश ही आकाश रहे भरा तुमसे,
भरा तुमसे। कि तुम हो जो लेश भी न रहे मेरा मुझसे। कि तुम हो जो लेश भी न रहे मेरा मुझसे, उसका जो तुम नहीं, जो नया मैं ही।
वाह,
उसका जो तुम नहीं, जो नया मैं ही।
वाह, क्या बात है।
कि तुम हो पाओ,
वाह 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 वाह।
कि तुम हो पाओ जो तुम ही तुम हो, मैं ही। जो तुम ही तुम हो, मैं ही। जो तुम भी नहीं, मैं
जो
भी।
तुम भी नहीं, वाह,
मैं भी।
वाह।
कि तुम हो जाओ, कि तुम हो जाओ। जो भी कहना है कह लो,
कह लो,
किंतु मौन से ही या गा दो।
वाह वाह वाह, क्या बात है। अब इसको आप थोड़ा सा इसका तर्जुमा करने का प्रयास कीजिए, क्योंकि ये कविता ही एक प्रयास है, जैसे आपने कहा।
Yeah.
एक नया प्रयास।
You'll have to help me. ये तो मैंने प्रयास भी नहीं किया इसका अनुवाद करने का। और अनुवाद का आप जानते हो, अनुवाद का अर्थ ट्रांसलेशन नहीं होता है। यू नो दैट अनु
Yes,
इज टू रिटर्न।
of course.
अनुवाद
To
इट्स ऑलमोस्ट
follow.
लाइक
It
सेइंग।
is to follow. It is to
यस,
follow and to return.
राइट।
So वाद के पीछे जो जाता है वो अनुवाद है.
हाँ, और अनुनाद, रिवर्बरेशन, echo is अनुनाद। When it
Yes,
so anumati is to follow the mind,
of
command
course.
anu. Yeah.
Of course.
So I will try. Please forgive me if this is going to be an Ashu translation, if there is such a thing. Ashu Anuvad. One more attempt.
I want
One
to
more
call it
try.
Arsha. Arsha Anuvad.
Arsha would be great. I would be nice. If I can do Arsha poem, that'll be nice. Whatever you want to say, please say it. But only with silence. Or sing. Whatever you want to say it, but only through silence or sing. That you become, so I may not remain, not to lose, but to gain. That you become, that you may happen, that there be so much love that the sky be filled only with you, that you may be, that not even an iota of mine remain with
Means.
me, that which you are not, only the new me, that you may become, that who is only you and I, that who is not you nor I,
Nor I.
that you may be.
क्या बात है.
So I just pulled it off. I don't know how it
Yeah,
came.
yeah. I mean, the whole idea is to be the newbie, as it were,
That's right. The
right?
newbie.
And
The newbie.
the newbie, yeah. Be the
Yes.
newbie, be the
Yes.
new me.
Yeah.
And so I think Singh has sung, I feel, from silence. Sings through silence to be the newbie. बट थैंक यू सर. मैं इसलिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा ये लगा, बहुत अच्छी कविता लगी, बहुत अच्छी शायरी मुझे इसलिए लगी. आई लाइक्ड इट सो मच बिकॉज you see, this whole play of you and me never ends, let's face it.
Yeah.
As long as we have any sense of the body. And in the yoga of Sri Aurobindo, it is not transcendence. The sense of me, the sense of the body remains, but it is transformation. And I think that on an occasion like this, the closer, you go to becoming the other and losing yourself, the more of yourself you become, the real self, as I see it. The new self, the new creation that Sri Aurobindo spoke about. And what is Shruti if it is not the new creation, the continuous replenishment of that original Agni, that original inspiration that burst forth through this phota, right? And that is why it's also, by the way, I keep coming back to that. It's also an occasion of joy. You see, I went to the ashram today and everybody was very solemn, and I wanted them to lighten up a little bit. So it's also an occasion of joy, I told them. It's not just an occasion of solemnity. And, of course, you don't know how to approach the divine. I know we tremble as we, go closer to the divine. But I think it is in that trembling that we also, I suppose, experience that molecule of bliss. What do you think, Dr. Singh?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a very fine line between this I and you. I mean, it's right under the surface. It's just You just have to peel the thinnest layer and the eye disappears, the so-called eye that we are so enamored of, and yet something else comes out. So it's as you said, it's very, and it's the trembling with joy. The joy is right there, and I call joy now the Veda hack. To me, it is. I wish I'd, of course, we don't. When we are growing up, we're just so solemn. We have to gain the kingdom of heaven. We have to be enlightened, enlightened. Meanwhile, the joy is always here. It's bliss. Prasputan, what do you call it? Spota. Joy is there. And if we could just stay in the joy, the path becomes so much easier. What Sri Aurobindo called, I would think, the sunlit path. It was a beautiful phrase he used. So if we can, and he recommended it, but we didn't, at that time the brain didn't grasp it. We were only teenagers, so what would we understand? But you're right, trembling in joy. What is it's just such a. I would even say there is no distinction. Trembling with joy and trembling with existence, and trembling with I and trembling with you, so that everything changes in that
And trembling
instant.
with awe, awe. When you
Yeah.
come close to the divine, I mean, as it were, uh, the Judeo-Christian tradition as well, when Moses goes up the mountain, his hair turns white. He can't take it, the flash, of that divine. So, yeah, I mean, uh, as we come to the end of this Parva, this Swatantrata Parva, and we also celebrate Vande Mataram, great Rishi Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay,
Yes.
who in a way gave voice to the aspiration of, Koti Koti Ninada Karale, that the swar that was within the hearts of, those about 100 million people, you see, at that time, who were thirsting for independence, thirsting
It's
for
a very,
freedom.
yeah, beautiful. It's a very powerful, one of the most powerful poems, just as a literary work. You are a student, teacher, master of literature all these years. I find the power of the poem is, and I forget, patriotic. Yes, of course, we love Bharata as a poem. What a powerful poem! And Sri Aurobindo called it a mantra, and he, it awoke a whole nation. And even now, I think one of the greatest things that this present administration has done, um, is to bring back Vande Mataram to us, and to make it as part of our homage to that great genius who really, with him, I think the flowering of the Bengal literary renaissance happened. And of course, we had, I think, Michael Madhusudan Dutt, and you, of course, know this much more than I. But we had people attempting, but with him, suddenly, Anand Mat is, its prose is among, the best writers in the world. I mean, this is not a small time writer. This is a great writer, and we don't appreciate
Yes,
how he brought it. And then Tagore came later, but of course, Tagore is another, great genius. But I think with Bankim, it flowered. The spiritual came with the secular. He was
yes,
very smart. The
yes.
practical came with the esoteric. And I don't know if you don't know his story. He went to meet Sri Ramakrishna.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
And Sri Ramakrishna said, "Oh, you are a little twisted. You're Bankim." But Bankim, what a great achievement.
But
So I
do
think,
you know? But do you know what he said? Why
no,
am
tell
I
me.
bent? Yeah, why am I bent? See, Bankim means bent, and it's a
Yes,
name for Krishna because
yes,
Krishna is Tribhanga. All the images of Krishna means he is, he is inclined in three different ways, which
yes,
makes him very beautiful. The iconography of Krishna,
yes,
iconography of Krishna is shows him with that beautiful posture, like that.
yes.
So he says the kicks of the English have bent me out of shape. It's so incredible. And he was a great anti-colonialist. In fact,
Yeah,
But,
Yes.
coming back to Vande Mataram, the reason I mentioned it is, don't you think it's also very Vedic in a very
Yes, it
profound
is.
way?
Absolute. It is. It is. I mean, every time I read it, it just sends shivers down my spine. I mean, it's just a
Exactly. It is that
powerful.
trembling. It's so powerful. But I
Yes.
mean, it's Vedic because it is also, as it were, stoking that Agni, when you not only of devotion, but that fire to, as it were, free yourself, which is,
Yeah.
the fire of Swatantrata, to recognize that I am free, I'm born free. It's my birthright to be free, which Tilak said later that Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. And that Swaraj is the Vedic Swaraj, which is
Yes.
everybody's birthright. Whether or not we are politically independent or politically whatever, colonized, not colonized, compromised. But from the Vedic perspective, we are all born free, you see,
Yes.
which is,
Yes.
of course, what the Declaration of Independence also said in its own way.
Yes.
But it's a
Yes.
very Vedic idea that Swatantra, because you are a bearer of that same divinity, which is actually your birthright, frankly, and to recognize and
Yes.
realize that birthright is what the Vedas were all about. And once again, coming back to Sri Aurobindo, he showed us the way to recognize that. And what I'm trying to say is, as we come to the end of this Swatantrata Parva, we also experience a sense of joy and celebration. We may begin with a great deal of solemnity and concentration, but then we move to a sense of, I would say, relaxation, Vishranti, Vismay, also a sense of wonderment, and I feel a sense of gratitude also
Yes.
that we
Yes.
can participate in this. We were born in this great land, which has given this light, for the whole human species, not just for any particular country. And that's why it troubles me to see the parochialism raising its ugly head, in the name of this or that. But anyhow, we'll leave out all of that.
So I have a
I just,
theory about it. I'll give you my theory. Maybe next time we'll talk about it. We what was it that Yeats said? The best
yes,
have lost all conviction and the worst are full of
worst are full of
passion.
passionate intensity.
So the problem is, yes, we want to be intense. We want to bring back something that is powerful, that we really have a deep aspiration for, but we're not able to hold it. That is what is missing, the dharana, to be able to widen ourselves. Sri Aurobindo constantly told his disciples, widen yourself. You have this very intense desire, you love India, you want to bring back, but now widen, hold, and grow in knowledge and perspective. Don't stay narrow, because if you widen, then you start seeing the multiplicity of India and its vast vision. India is not a narrow vision. That's the difference between, say, some other, um, shall I call them panthas, other, that only this is right, my way is right, everybody else is wrong. Not only is everybody else wrong, I can do anything to them and it'll be fine. They will be thrown, consigned to the worst damnation. This is a narrow view that fills us with a lot of joy because it feeds the ego. Somewhere it goes to a deep passion. And that's okay to start with, but you got to widen it. You got to go grow, gain in wisdom so that you can, the passion with the wit, if it can happen, that is what India needs. And that's why you need a buddhi that is wider, an intelligence that is able to see many perspectives at once. It's almost, look at how Sri Krishna was. I always go back when I'm in doubt. Look at how many perspectives he could hold together and still stay completely centered and reconcile all of them intellectually, mentally. What a genius. So that's what we have to rediscover, that genius of Sri Krishna, of Sri Aurobindo, of our Vedic rishis, can hold multiple thoughts, multiple perspectives at the same time, and yet be completely centered and full of that passionate intensity. So somewhere that worst and best have to come together, and conviction and intensity, we have to bring both.
Wonderful. So, on that note, thank you, viewers, for joining us in this special broadcast on Sri Aurobindo's birthday, the freedom of India, and also the 150th anniversary of Vande Mataram. Thank you, Dr. Singh. Viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and join us again and again in this journey of ours with the amazing and into the amazing Vedas. Thank you. Namaste.